And welcome, and you're most welcome. I'm Russ Kane. What's left of him? This is the Midday Show. And what is it today? God, it's nearly the end of August. How the hell did that happen? Happy Christmas, everybody. Let me get in first. Happy Christmas. Happy Halloween. What else? I'll get ready for next year and happy Easter. Yeah, it's a thing, isn't it? Where's the year gone? Weather's mad. I've changed 3 times today, so I am not kidding. I have changed 3 times. I got to change again because I got what they call a family meeting. So there we go. Right, you know him. You love him. He is fearless. He says what other people won't because, I don't know, they're in awe of somebody, but he just says, as it is, our fabulous, very own theatre critic, Mr. Jonathan Baz.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, fella.
As always,
you know, that's how it is. All right, where have you gone? No, I don't know.
I don't know. Where have I gone?
I don't know. Where are you?
Back.
There we are.
I'm
there you
back.
are. There you go. I'm trying to make it so that you have the big thing. I want you to have the. There we go. Now look, I do that.
And there you are. You're centre stage. Oh, but now
I want you centre stage because
now I'm centre stage.
This is your fabulous section. Good afternoon, Philip, to you as well. Good afternoon, up there in Yorkshire. Right, there we go.
So,
what you got?
What have I got? Well, a little bit of a brief summary about what those wonderful people. So it's a little bit out of London this week. What I've got to talk about.
Bulgaria.
Whoa! Now you're. So I mean, if it was,
the only reason I mention it, JB, is I got a video from my mate Ray Gelato. Guess where I am? I'm in Bulgaria. Right?
Was he in Sofia? Was he? Sorry, moving swiftly on.
Of all the things he says, he goes, the bed's no good. Everywhere I move, I'm getting a spring sticking in my side or sticking in that.
Funnily enough, the last time, in fact, the only time I've been in Bulgaria was working in my side, away from the busy, frenetic world of Jonathan Baz. I have a side hustle in my life, which I won't talk about. But that side hustle...
He's a fishmonger. Many people don't know
took me to Bulgaria, where before I met with my client, I was sat in my hotel with a colleague, and lo and behold, at the table next to us was John Voight.
John Voight.
John Voight. I kid you not, and I have the selfies to prove it. John Voight, a man who I admire for all sorts of reasons: his acting, his politics, etc., etc. The list goes on. What really struck me was in the course of this conversation, and to be fair, it was my assistant who was traveling with me who'd spotted the legendary actor before I did. And I say this was 2 or 3 years ago. And whereas, of course, for me, John Voight is a legend of Midnight Cowboy.
Yeah.
He's a legend of Deliverance. Gosh, that was a grim film.
Wow, I'd forgotten he was in that. Yes.
Deliverance, Midnight Cowboy, even the Odessa Files, some wonderful stuff. But my far younger assistant, who's half my age, said to me, wasn't he in Anaconda playing the bad guy? Which, of course, he was. So there you go.
Right up there with Sharknado and other magnificent films of that genre.
Indeed. But no, so how do we go? Oh, Bulgaria. Yes,
Bulgaria,
indeed.
Yeah.
Lovely place. Not to be confused with Vulgaria, which is, of course, where Baron Bombast comes from in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. There you go. We're dropping
you've got all this thing like that.
We're dropping the cultural references left, right, and centre this morning. And there's more to come. There is more to come.
Well,
but
we're agog.
Hey, Gog and Magog. Let me first spit. That could be you and me, Russ. Gog and Magog.
Rip, run, and panic. That would be us. Anyway, okay.
Let me talk firstly about a charity who I've touched upon in the past, a musical theatre charity, very, very much involved with inspiring and bringing on the best of our young people, the National Youth Music Theatre.
Oh, yes, 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 yes.
Who next year, in fact, celebrate their 50th anniversary.
Wow.
And this year, largely centered around various venues in Birmingham. And I'll be heading up the motorway this afternoon to catch
Brave.
up.
You're going to Birmingham?
I am indeed, yes. Whisper
Okay,
it not.
I'm saying nothing. Good luck.
Good. That's probably best.
Good luck.
I mean, I know that's not the best route into a radio career, is to say nothing. But in this circumstance, probably
I think it's wise.
Probably wise.
And if you're watching from abroad,
just don't.
Anyway,
don't continue watching. Please stay tuned. They've branched out into a quite an ambitious slate of work this year over the 2025 summer season, and their season involves really quite a large cohort of young people from ages, gosh, I hope I don't get this wrong, I think sort of 10, 11, right the way up through to the early 20s. This year they've staged some workshops of 9 new musicals. They've put on 4 serious productions. They opened their summer with Fame at the Birmingham Hippodrome. And to be fair, the way the NYMT works is they have professionals who create the show. So the directors, the choreographers, the lighting directors, the set designers will all be West End industry professionals. And of course, the casts are these young, and the musicians are all, of course, young people having the summer, or if they're there frequently, a number of summers of their lives, really working their what's-its off to produce shows that really come off at a very, very high standard. As I say, first one.
But what a thrill for them, though.
Yeah.
Because I think it's an amazing thing that you've just said. Because if the infrastructure is professional, it lets the kids giving it a go, some for the first time, it gives them a really good chance because you got a solid foundation in which to work. That's really good.
It's great training. Some of the names that have come out of NYMT over the years: Jude Law, Sheridan Smith, Matt Lucas.
Good God.
So there really are some very big names who've cut their teeth on NYMT stuff back in their teens. As I say, this year they've got through Fame, a new musical based on a movie from 20 odd years ago called Tuck Everlasting.
What?
It's called Tuck Everlasting. I hadn't heard of it before this summer either.
Tuck,
the movie
that could go horribly wrong.
Indeed. The movie, this musical is a new musical written by two people, Chris Miller and Nathan Tyson, based on a movie from, as I say, about 20 odd years ago, which had a fairly impressive cast: Amy Irving, Sissy Spacek, William Hurt, about a family who, I didn't see the show, but the family touches on immortality and things that are very close to the heart. And my understanding is NYMT have delivered this, it's a European premiere of this show. And they made fine work of it. Another piece of new writing that they got involved with was a piece written by Charlie Turner called "The Lightning Boy," not to be confused with Percy Jackson, Lightning Thief. The Lightning Boy, which is a bit of a prequel looking at the gods, the gods of Greek mythology, sort of before they were famous. So. Again, imagine
when they were applied to Love Island before they became immortal. Basically.
And the NYMT are wrapping up their season this summer with a show that opened last night. I'll be there tonight, and it finishes tomorrow. Of Carousel.
That's bold.
Which is indeed, it's a Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Really bold. That is not something to cut your teeth on, really.
No, it's not a laugh a minute show, that's for sure.
No.
It's got some bangers of some songs in it. I mean, it opens with the Carousel Waltz. And
please tell me I got the right tune.
You got the right tune.
All I think of is the wonderful late Peter Noble, who gave me such a love of films. And on the Light program, you're too young, BBC Light program.
No, I remember the Light program. It had Radio 1.
He'd have didn't it just? He had a wonderful show called Movie Go Round. That was the theme tune. Peter Noble, his daughter was Cara Noble, who I worked with 5 days a week for many, many years at Capital Radio. He was the most charming, charming guy.
Yep.
Lovely man.
And so tonight it's Carousel, which as we know, has gorgeous tunes. Of course, it's got the legendary "You'll Never Walk Alone" as well. It's a heartbreaker of a show. I've
seen it, and I can't remember how it ends. Probably not well.
It ends. Well, I try not to give
spoiler
spoilers
alert.
away,
Don't go there. But I can't remember.
But it's set in New England in a fishing community where a young girl and her friend Julie Jordan and Carrie Pipperidge, and this of course actually segues very nicely into the next piece that I'm going to talk about. So you've got Julie Jordan and Carrie Pipperidge who work in a mill. With their backstory is always a little bit obscure, but clearly they don't have parents, and they work in a mill where the owners expect their girls to be very principled and very starched skirts and everything. And Julie Jordan falls for the roustabout on the carousel down by the seaside, Billy Bigelow. So you've got love blossoming between this ne'er-do-well chappie who the girls adore, who runs the carousel, and this very prim and proper Julie Jordan. Meanwhile, her good friend Carrie Pipperidge has a separate love story, slightly lower in priority, with a very hardworking chap who goes on to build a herring fleet.
As you do. And who hasn't dreamt
indeed.
of that?
And of course, Rogers and Hammerstein explore this really clever story about how the love affair evolves between Julie and Billy. She becomes pregnant. He gets racked with guilt about how's he going to be able to support a child. There's a gorgeous song in it, not one of the more famous songs, but it's massive. It goes on for about 10 minutes. It's called Soliloquy that Billy Bigelow sings. And it's how's he going to bring up his son? And then he thinks to himself, gosh, what if my child's a girl? It's a really lovely moment of reflection by someone who's not the most articulate or educated of individuals, facing up to the responsibilities of becoming a parent. And of course, the story then tragically sort of evolves into him wanting to rob a rich, wealthy businessman locally, and a robbery
that's not
goes
going to
wrong.
End well.
Doesn't end well.
That's going to go sideways.
And so it has all a bit of a tragic ending, and then Act 2 really gets quite mystical and again heartbreaking, particularly for people who've lost relatives. When I first saw Carousel many years ago, I was there, and my partner at the theatre that night had not so long ago been bereaved, and to be fair, neither of us knew what the show was going to be about, other than it was Carousel, massively famous musical, and it was a heartbreaking night. But it's brilliant. It's a brilliant show, done well. It's a gorgeous heartbreaker with some stunning songs. So I'm very much looking forward to catching that this evening. And that's the National Youth Music Theatre.
Brilliant.
And I say 50 years old next year. But
the trouble, something's interesting. The older you get, and you're younger than me, right? But you go 50 years ago, and not long ago, I go, Christ, that's like ancient history. And then you work out when 50 years ago was.
Yep.
It's absolutely bloody terrifying. It's like,
Indeed.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Because most of your favorite tunes, you can't. It's so hard to think that some of your favorite rock tunes, some of your heavy metal, I love metal and stuff like that. And you go, that's 50 years old, half a century old. How can that be?
But let me segue from the National Youth Music Theatre's Carousel to the Frinton-on-Sea, the Frinton Summer Theatre's production of Guys and Dolls. Now,
that's brave.
To my eternal shame, I had never ever been to the
What, to
Frinton Summer
Frinton?
Theatre, or to Frinton-on-Sea.
Okay.
It's a few miles north of Clacton, on the Essex coast. Sadly, a view now blighted by windmills as one looks out to
but
sea.
they're so marvellous. They're just so fantastic. They're saving the planet.
However, perched atop a cliff in Frinton is a massive blue big top tent, a big top tent that's been erected for, I think my understanding is for 2 weeks only, for the Frinton Summer Theatre's musical. So the Frinton Summer Theatre comes alive literally over the summer. It's a repertory theatre, fully professional. Sort of stages a handful of shows that last for a week, and their musical, I believe, typically lasts the very long length of 2 weeks.
Wow.
And this year it's Guys and Dolls, and the segue point is that the production of Carousel that I saw all those millions of years ago at the National Theatre starred Joe Riding as Julie Jordan and Janie D as Carrie Pippery. Janie D. And this production of Guys and Dolls marks Janie D's debut. She is a debutante. She's one of the Hotbox debutantes in the world of directing. So this is her first. She has directed this piece. She's worked on some smaller chamber pieces in the past, but this is her first full-blown.
Can I ask you a question? And I'm not being facetious. Hello, Rosie. What is a chamber piece? I don't know what that means.
Well, when I say a chamber piece, a small sort of something that she'd put together of some various Sondheim numbers and whatever.
Okay, probably with her mate, and they put a show on. Okay,
and it's been a modest cast, more of a cabaret style show than a full-blown musical. This is a full-blown musical of necessity, budgetarily constrained. I mean, albeit they have spent some money on this show. It's a big old tent. It's some big old lighting rigs in there, etc., etc. But a number of the cast are doubling up. Some of the cast are brilliant. Some of the cast are just good. But the show, what stunned me, I went along really to see, okay, let's see what Janie D's got up to in her first outing as a director. She's a brilliant performer. She really is one of our leading ladies. So for the last significant number of decades, she has been steeped in the very best of musical theatre. So she's obviously learned a lot, and she's put it into this rather fabulous. It's a charming location on top of a cliff, and it's a charming production of Guys and Dolls. And she's recognised her budgetary constraints. I don't know how well you know Guys and Dolls.
I know pretty well.
Okay, it opens with a piece called Runyon Land, effectively the overture, which always has a hustle and bustle of Broadway and cops running around and people doing.
That's why they did it so beautifully at the Bridge Theatre. It was sensational.
Indeed. She actually rips that idea up. And whilst the Runyon Land music is playing out, she has 3 local young performers in their teens acting out really a ballet that suggests the story that's to come. But, she's gone on the basis, right, I haven't got $1 million to spend on Runyon Land. I'm going to rip it up, do something completely different, and bring in these local performers. And you know what? It really works. It was quite a charming way to start the show.
It's so much better than saying, we've got to replicate what they did at the National or what they did at the wonderful Bridge Theatre. We haven't got the money. It's never it's going to look horrid. It's better to just do something, cut your cloth accordingly, and come up with something deeply creative. That's a great idea.
And her other really lovely touch in her tweaking of the show is the show, as you know, has 4 leads. It's got Nathan Detroit and Miss Adelaide. Nathan Detroit, who's always running his floating crap game and has been engaged to Miss Adelaide for 14 years. And this uncanny romance that blossoms between the super cool Sky Masterson, gambler extraordinaire, and the sergeant of the Save a Soul mission, Sarah Brown. And there are some fabulous songs in the show, but if you look at the libretto, Nathan Detroit does not sing a word apart from being in the ensemble numbers, like Sit Down, You're Rocking the Boat, for example. He's there as one of the crowd, but he's got no solo singing notes. And so Janie and the chap who she's cast in as Nathan Detroit, who's a chap called Fabian Soto Pacheco. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I'm sure I haven't.
Either that or you've just ordered lunch.
Indeed. So she actually tweaks very slightly the lyrics of the title song, Guys and Dolls, and gives him a chunk to sing in it, which I thought, something that's really nice, because the guy's obviously got his musical theatre chops, and she gives him a chance in the show to use them. And so the two leads, the first two leads that I'll talk about, Nathan and Miss Adelaide, Fabian Soto Pacheco, catches what Nathan's all about. This very sardonic, wry New York shtick, always with the cops breathing down his neck. He's got all the gamblers looking for a place for the crap game. He's got his fiance beating him up for keeping her engaged for 14 years. He ain't got an easy life. Fabian really captures that. He's brilliant. He's a young actor. And, I know the story inside out, back to front. I know where the gags are coming, and he makes them work. And it was, he was a joy. As Miss Adelaide, another young performer, not a child, Josephina Ortiz-Lewis. And Miss Adelaide is a tough old role because she's got that really strange mixture of pathos, because she's been waiting for her fiance to marry her for 14 years.
Like a lemon.
She's got a job in a really sleazy nightclub,
the hot box,
so she's like, a lot of life has passed her by, but my God, she's got energy, and she's got some of the most complex comedy lines to deliver, because her character is so complex, a mixture of tragedy and funny, that it's back in the day at the National, and I have to say, and I'll come on to this in a couple of minutes as well, in 1982, Richard Eyre did a Guys and Dolls at the National Theatre that, to be fair, has not been matched.
That's what everyone who saw it, my friends who've seen
the cast of the four leads,
definitive.
Back in 1982, you had Bob Hoskins as Nathan Detroit and Julia Mackenzie as Miss Adelaide. You had the late great Ian Charleson as Sky Masterson. And no one realized he could sing, really, until he got onto that stage and sung beautifully. And opposite him was Julie Covington. What happened to her?
What did happen to her? She had a huge career. And then...
Indeed. That was... For those of us who were there and have seen most of the Guys and Dolls since then, that 1982 production has yet to be matched. And Janie D, to her credit, references that show in her program notes for the Frinton production. She'd sought a little bit of guidance from Richard Eyre before tackling Guys and Dolls. And he said, and Richard Eyre's advice to her was, just read Damon Runyon. You can't go wrong. The show will drive itself. Runyon is so clever, and his stories and his characters are so brilliant. But I've talked about Nathan Detroit and Miss Adelaide, but what Janie D has unlocked in her Sky Masterson and Sarah Brown blew me off my seats. An actor called Lenny Turner plays Sky Masterson, and I have to say, having seen a number of the casts at the Bridge, he knocked spots off all of their Skies. Knocked spots. I quite like what I did there. His Sky Masterson was fantastic, and Isabella Gervais plays Sarah Brown. And the chemistry, and for those who know their Guys and Dolls, chemistry. The chemistry between those two performers, as the love between them involves, is the best. Hello? I've got some noises coming through. Anyway, I'll carry on. The chemistry that evolves between these two performers is, I will say, the best that I have seen in that pairing since 1982 and Richard Eyre's casting of that original production, because the love that grows between them and the sweetness, I found myself, dare I say it, shedding a tear on a couple of cards, which I've never done in Guys and Dolls ever. Those two, Lenny Turner, Isabella Gervais, have unlocked something really, really special. And Janie has obviously coaxed it out of them. And as I say, as Guys and Dolls go, this is very, very lovely, and really in a number of ways is the best I've seen since 1982, and that includes various shows in various great theaters, all good shows, don't get me wrong, but the chemistry that she extracts between Lenny Turner and Isabella Gervais as Sky and Sarah, off the scale. Very, very special. And if anyone has the chance still to get to Frinton, which is a little bit of a trek out of London, let's be honest.
Can you get there by train?
You can. You can. It's a charmer. You've got to change to a branch line just outside Clacton for a train into Frinton. But yeah, I think there are trains every hour out of London. And of course, it's very, very sensibly priced. And there's a gorgeous band that's whacking out these fabulous tunes. Luck Be a Lady Tonight.
So she hasn't scrimped on the musicians either. Which is great.
No. I think the band is. How big is the band? Bear with me 1 second. The band it's a 6-piece band.
Okay, but they can make a noise.
Yeah,
which
works quite beautifully. And as I say, I went along wanting to support what was going on there. I was not expecting to be blown away. And
that's fantastic, isn't
it? Yeah.
So she's learnt her craft, which is, really, it's by osmosis, isn't it? If you do stuff long enough, if you haven't picked up the best of the best, and she's been directed and produced by some of the best.
She's worked with the best.
Yeah, she has, and she's taking it on board. Good for her.
Yep.
Good for her.
Yeah, that's been my fortnight and my evening to come.
Wow. Does Mrs. Baz ever see you? Is that the success of your marriage?
I couldn't possibly comment.
No.
She's on board.
Photos of yourself just so she knows like who.
Yeah,
you
no,
are?
I just sign off every email with a link to my website. It kind of works.
She goes, name's familiar. I must look at this website. Oh, he's good. I must see some of these shows. That's what she says. Well, that's hilarious.
To be fair, she is top of the list when it comes to the +1s.
Yeah.
So
I'm only asked when everybody else is either dead or got, No,
you're not that high up. You flatter
river fever or something.
You flatter yourself. You're not that high up the list.
No, I don't think so. It's like if the if the show's up at 7:30, I might get a call at 5. What are you doing? Where are we going? Can you go to Manchester? No, Jonathan. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm not coming.
But though I have to say, your company as a +1 is the most sparkling.
We always have a laugh,
indeed,
because I think in an increasingly horrible, grim, dangerous world, art becomes.
And I don't think of the +1ery that you and I have got up to. I don't think we've seen a bad show.
No,
to be honest.
My favourite though, out of everything, and I'd set the bar low in my head, and I was so wrong, was Back to the Future.
Indeed.
Which was sensationally good.
And I've quoted your reaction.
Nothing. I expected it's an evening out, be nice. And I was blown away. I thought it was marvelous.
Yes, I've quoted your reaction, because your cynicism as we walked in, when you looked at the poster and you said, well, how's this guy going to be Christopher Lloyd, etc., etc. And it just
because it's part of our DNA. So we come with that's how it was. And they just turned it on its head, and it was so entertaining.
Absolutely.
Terrific.
Absolutely.
Well, JB, for someone who said, well, I haven't got much to say, somehow nearly half an hour has gone by, and it's
flown by.
Well, zoomed by it. Supersonic speed. I'm sorry if I get slightly distracted, but my little dog, who is Ebony, my mini schnauzer, who's 16 and a half,
right,
really not great. And all the
time, that older than you?
In real life, yeah.
Terms. Yes,
it's very hard to believe. Only me and the pyramids. That's the scale. You have to work on the pyramids, my dog, me, basically.
Right.
And her back legs are getting very weak. which is
Bless.
horrid. So the noise, I keep hearing it, and I live in fear that she can't, sometimes she struggles to get up, but she's eating like a horse, so she's happy. And what that, Jonathan, thank you so much, fella. As always, we will
A
see
pleasure.
you, God willing, in 2 weeks' time.
See you then.
And remember, gin and tonic, please, from the bar. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye-bye.
The wonderful, I'm going to keep myself small. I'm keeping myself small. And you know why? Because you know who's coming on. And you don't want to see me, but you do. Oh, look, she's doing her hair now. Oh, me? You're talking about me? Surely not. No. Can I, I'm keeping it small deliberately, before we bring on you know who, can I just wish our buddy and a very dear friend of mine, Phil Dave, he's not at all well at the moment. Don't know what he's got. He may have philitis. You don't want it. It means that you have to wear a cravat and a 3-piece suit when it's 200 degrees outside. That's basically philitis. He's not well. So Phil and all your Phil's friends, we're sending our love. Get well. So he's so not well, he hasn't gone to work. And Phil is a workaholic. You think I'm bad. You know her. You love her. She is the queen of everything on a screen. I'll leave that. It's probably a haiku. Chantal Rickards OBE. There she is.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
A little bit of backcombing going on there. Whoa.
Backcombing, yeah.
Wow.
You've got to have a good backcombing.
That you are looking so ridiculously brown. Wow, you look like you've been in Saint-Tropez for about a month.
No. Well, I'm just keeping my tan going. And
or is it rust like me? It's just like
rust.
rust.
I think bank holiday Monday, I sat out in the garden and just topped it up a bit. But
did you?
Yeah.
I had a fabulous bank holiday Monday. Where did I go? I went and had an eye test because I was worried about something. So I had to have a full eye check. Not an eye, better, worse, better, not that. The full thing where they put the drops in your eyes and they can see bugger all.
Oh, wow.
And I'm thinking, yes, this is a bank holiday treat.
And what was the upshot? Has your eyesight
fine. I was thrilled. They were. It was really. My daughter was driving me mad, Chances, because I get these. When I was not well a couple of weeks back, right? It was like I was sitting in a room full of fruit flies. It was, you're trying to look through this thing. Like they're called floaters. Make up your own jokes. And she was very worried because somebody we know had that, and it was indication of something horribly bad. So, Dad, you got to go. Dad, you got to. Oh, she drove me bloody mental. So I said, I'm going. Okay. Went to my opticians. They said, well, we're open bank holiday. I said, what? Oh, do you want to come in Sunday? I said, no. All right, bank holiday Monday. Got nothing else to do. Went in. Okay. And they were so thorough. I shouldn't give them a plug because, but Specsavers, brilliant. Just brilliant. It's so rare that people that advertise, and it's even better than they say. Now, is she back in Australia? Where is she? Is she around the course? She could be up in your spare bedroom. I don't know. Michelle Vaughan. Good afternoon to you both. Is she back? She gone back to Sydney or what?
No. She's in. I can't tell you where she is. She's a secret agent.
Prison.
Got her own life. No, I don't think
Holloway.
But she's not in my spare bedroom because I am in my spare bedroom.
Now, the most important question before we get on to things televisual.
Yes.
Has your house dried?
No,
you get this on radio. You won't get this with Mark Commode. Has your house dried out or not?
Do you even honestly? This is a shaggy dog story of all shaggy dog stories.
No, but you told me what it was, and I'm going, are you freaking kidding me? Who does that?
I know. I still do not have a working shower in my main spare bedroom upstairs. Hopefully by Sunday, all will be resolved. Okay. I do now have 2 Aqualisa power shower units, one that I bought and one that was sent to me by Aqualisa at the
I don't know what that is. What is Aqualisa? Aqualisa sounds like a stripper who works in an aquarium.
Yeah, well, she certainly knows how to charge for it. I can tell you that. £470 later.
Holy crap!
I know. I have 2 boxes instead of 1. I don't. Honestly, it's a ridiculously shaggy dog story.
Okay.
I will hopefully manage to take one of the boxes back and get my money back for it, and
go on holiday to the south of France for a week. 425 quid. Well, I get you a coffee.
Anyway, there we are.
Have the culprits, have they gone now?
The culprits have gone, yes. I can't quite pin it on.
Yes, you can. You're so nice to it. You're so lovely to everybody. And thank you being so nice to my podcast pal. Really appreciate that.
Oh,
very nice of you. You didn't have to do it, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
He was so impressed. Of course. obviously. Before you start, I've just binge watched a 10-part series.
Oh,
late to the party, as I always am. It's 9 years old.
Oh my God! Okay.
Somebody recommended it, and I started watching it, and I thought, this is fabulous.
Oh,
and it's Stan Lee, the great Stan Lee from.
I love Stan Lee. I've met Stan Lee.
So have I. I nearly fainted. He walked into a meeting I was in New York. I swear to God, I nearly fainted because I was in my early 20s and a monstrous fan.
Incredible.
Yeah, I'm a huge Stan Lee fan, bless him. Anyway, I'm sure you saw it with James Nesbitt, Lucky Man.
I don't think I did.
Oh my God. It is unbelievably good. I was riveted.
What's the storyline?
Well, it's on Now TV.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's a 9-year-old series that I never really heard about it. Someone said, I think you should give it a go. I think you'll like it. It's up your street. I did. Man, oh man, I was hooked for like a week.
Right, okay, I'm going to put that
and the story is called Lucky Man with James Nesbitt on Now TV. And it's a weird thing.
Yeah.
Because it's a brilliant blend of a police procedural that is terribly complicated with fabulous storylines spinning off it in all directions, each of which is fascinating, right?
Yeah.
And for reasons I won't spoil, he's been given, when you describe it, it sounds crap, but trust me, it really works.
Okay.
He's been given this bracelet, and he's a terrible gambler. Screwed up his marriage, his relationship, everything, because he's an inveterate gambler and he's in debt, and he's in debt to the triads, which is not good to me. And this bracelet, and I won't say anything more, changes everything. It gives you basically infinite luck, not just gambling, but in your life. And let us just say somebody else really, really wants the bracelet.
Okay,
but it's also a police procedural. It's fantastic.
Is it like a sort of Tales of the Unexpected?
No, not at all. No,
fantasy.
No. It's like watching Unforgotten, but imagine that Sanjeev Bhattacharya, right, or Nicola Walker's been given this bracelet which can improve her luck. So it's as gritty as you like. It's not fantastic. It's not like it's not like, he can fly. It's none of that crap. But it's a really hard tightrope to walk. But they're pulled it off magnificently. So season 1, which I binge watched, is 10 episodes. Each one fabulous. There's nothing slack in it. Every scene is like, it's really good.
Amazing. Oh, well, that sounds very interesting.
It was huge fun and looks great. And James Nesbitt, who I not hugely familiar with his work. He was just terrific in the role.
Oh, I love James Nesbitt. He's one of my
very good. Very, very good. Very good. Great performances all right.
Okay, right. Well, thank you for that recommendation.
Not at all. That is me shutting up.
No, well, no, I was going to tell you about my Monday night, having been sitting in the sun all day long. I was absolutely privileged to sit and chat to for quite a long time at a small dinner on Monday night with the guy who writes Mission Impossible, but also wrote.
Shut up! No.
Yeah.
No.
Really, really interesting man. That because often, I get to meet people and you meet them for 10 minutes and then they're gone. But actually, we spent the whole evening chatting.
He writes Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
Did he arrive and just was like lowered onto the table, like like this? Dun, 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 dun,
well, we were hoping.
And did he then say,
"You might have a +1
pepper, pass the salt, please"? No, obviously not.
No, we were hoping a +1 might have turned up.
Can you imagine?
We didn't have.
Can you imagine? That would have been like the best. That happened to a friend of mine who said, "Oh, we're expecting. Tom's coming," and my mate's sitting there going, "Who the hell's Tom? They're at a small dinner." Tom, I don't know. Tom Cruise walks in, and they're like, Tom Cruise sitting opposite you at the dinner. Amazing. Anyway, What's he like, this chap, this writer?
He's called Eric Gendrison, and he's absolutely smashing.
Wow,
He's sort
what
of
a talent.
our age-ish. And
your age, not my age. If my age, you'd be
we're
dead.
not similar in age.
You're very sweet.
Lives in South Carolina, and he said that the last 2 Mission Impossibles, he said it was literally full-time work for 5 years.
Oh,
as a writer
God.
on those 2 films.
Oh.
5 years.
Couldn't bear it.
And then they would constantly make things better, so that when they were in the studio, if a line didn't work, they'd watch it on the monitor, and then the following day they'd go back and redo it.
Yeah. It's a very American way, isn't it? It's what they do with
very
sitcoms.
American,
How they do the American sitcoms, which is why they're so sharp.
Expensive, yeah.
Oh,
really
gosh, yeah.
expensive. But anyway, it was fascinating. I tried to get lots of insights on Tom Cruise, but I didn't really get too many.
So here's the thing. You're setting yourself up, you fool, up in Fife in Scotland, or maybe you're in London, I don't know. Can't wait till Chantal is reviewing my screenplay, not nervous at all. Dave, mate, I've known you a long time, right? Start by asking, like, the grocer or the butcher or the bloke behind the Morrison's till. Start, and then raise the bar. Don't go straight to God level. That's my advice. Don't.
I'm not the best film
I've known
critic.
Chantal for many years. I wouldn't do it.
I try not to be nasty about people's work because everybody tries really hard.
Yeah, they do, but not everyone's. The thing about it is, let's be honest about it. Everyone says, "Oh, this is great," and like you, I always say, "I'm afraid I'm too busy now." I'm trying to be polite because if it's great, you go, "Well, that's marvelous, congratulations," and if it's not, you've got to find a way of being polite, not seeming to be rude and dismissive. And it's very awkward. Somebody sent me a comedy script once, and I just didn't like it at all. They wanted me to get involved, and I had to, kind of tiptoe through a minefield, not upset the person involved, but it wasn't my cup of tea. It wasn't for me at all. What can you do? You can't get involved in projects you don't believe in. You can't.
No, absolutely right. Anyway,
my mate Colin Vane's currently living in Gay Paris at the moment for reasons
lovely.
I won't. Well, I wind him up. I phone him and wind him up all the time. Anyway, Colin has a saying with other film producers: if you have 1% doubt at the beginning, by the time you get to the end of that project, you will have 100% doubt. It'll never work.
Now that's interesting.
Never work. They have a golden rule. These guys, if they have a 1% doubt about it, they won't touch it.
Okay. Very similar to my father's advice when he was teaching me to drive, which is if you think you can overtake, don't. Because in the 1 second that you've processed that thought, you've wasted time trying to calculate it. So don't overtake.
Oh, he was so right.
Quite clever, actually. Yes. I mean, I think
if you're thinking about it,
if
you're driving and you're thinking about it, just go, I think I can jump the lights. I think I can turn in front of this traffic light. Just please don't. Please. Yeah.
I thought
what have you felt? No, oh God, it's reminded me of something I did when I was a kid. It was so bloody stupid. Exactly as your father taught you, I thought, and somebody had lent me a very fast car. I'm a kid. I'm in a very fast car. I mean, like crazy fast for those days, right? I'm thinking, I want to go right. Yeah, I can beat the traffic. Oh, God, I started to overtake, realized I was going to die.
Oh, God.
Just out of my peripheral vision, I saw like a little turning, and I just aimed the car through the gates. Never again. Never did it again. God. No, well, you're young. You're stupid.
I know. Don't do it. I did the same thing with my father's sports car when I was 17. Yeah, showing off, being stupid, entirely my own fault, but scared myself rigid. So there was a lesson there somewhere.
So you don't, unless you're an idiot, you don't do it again. It's a salutary lesson. You go, never again. Thank you so much.
Except I was done for speeding this week for the first time in 10 years.
No, you.
Really cross about. I know.
You.
I know, but it was only 26 and a 20. Anyway.
Yeah, did all the school children survive on that crossing? Were they all right? A few of them still got scratches and bruises. I can't. I'm going to be honest with you. 20 miles an hour. I sit there. There is steam coming out of my ears. I'm going like, I'm the only person here. What is this 20 miles an hour bullshit? 1% doubts mean you will search for and find 99 reasons to justify the doubt. Dave, you're right. Dave Sleep.
Yeah.
CEO of ANA. He knows from whence he speaks. What have you found that's good?
Okay, so two things. I've got a music thing, but I'm going to go on to that.
No way.
Yeah. But
Really?
the first thing is actually a documentary that I watched yesterday that I thought was absolutely fantastic. That is a sort of, people are getting really good at doing crime documentaries.
Yeah, they are fab.
Yeah. And the BBC have done one that actually is a two-parter, so it's 2 1 hours. Came out a couple of days ago called The Great Art Fraud. I know nothing about the art world. It's complete anathema to me. I wouldn't know, a Basquiat from a.
You've just lost me, but you wouldn't know a Baskin Robbins from a root.
I wouldn't know Basquiat from Baskin Robbins, exactly. But this is really, really worth watching. It's BBC, as I said, and it's about a bloke I had literally never heard of called Inigo Philbrick. And I mean, you sort of get drawn in by.
No, that sounds like a Roald Dahl character, doesn't it?
I know, but it's a brilliant name. He's young. He arrives in London in his 20s from New York. He wants to be the greatest art dealer in the world. So like a sort of Gagosian figure.
What are these words you're throwing in today? Do you follow us to
No, the documentary. I now know everything there is to know about the art world.
You are like Fake or Fortune. They're going to get rid of Fiona Bruce and put you in. That'd be great. I'd love you to be doing that.
Anyway,
great.
He goes to Goldsmiths College, but at the same time, he's working at the famous White Cube Gallery, which I do know about, which is in Whitechapel, which is full of very trendy modern art that is utterly inscrutable.
They never make a move without consulting me first. Because my finger is so on the pulse of art.
I think we should take ourselves off and
to the White Cube. We should go down there. We should go down there.
I don't think we'll understand any of it.
No, of course not. It's all bollocks. But we go there and then we can have lunch. Because I'll last 10 minutes and go, for Christ's sake, get me out of here. This is rubbish. But I'll be thinking it, and unfortunately, you know me, I'll have said it before I realised I should have said it aloud.
No, I think that's absolutely fine. But anyway, this is a very good story about a young man with a lot of, more front than Woolworths, basically.
More front than Woolworths.
And is incredibly successful. Gets through his 20s. Everybody thinks he's just, he is the man. He is going to be the next greatest art dealer on the planet. And he is really buying and selling incredibly well. He can see where the market's going, who's popular, who isn't. He starts going out with a girl from Made in Chelsea, and they're this absolutely perfect golden couple. And then it all goes
wrong.
He gets greedy.
Quit while you're ahead. It's the one thing my dad always taught me.
Yeah.
Don't double down on your debt. Quit while you're ahead and get out of Dodge. Yeah. That's what he always said.
So basically, he was selling, instead of, let's say, I sell you half a painting, so we own half a painting.
Oh, okay. I thought you got a pair of scissors there. And just...
Well, in actual fact, what I haven't told you is I've sold that same half to 2 other people.
Oh, my God. Bialystok and Bloom.
So it's the biggest Ponzi. It's
a Ponzi scheme. Of course it is.
Ponzi United.
Ponzi
but
scheme.
it's told incredibly well. And he is interviewed. The girl from Made in Chelsea is interviewed. What you don't know is, are they going to make it all the way through? Because it's cut in such a way that you think, are they still together? Because that really becomes part of the story. Because you can't quite believe that she go to one. Yeah. Anyway. It's worth watching. It's 2 hours. It's very well made. And it does tell you something about the art world that probably an awful lot of us don't know. And where, very, very, very rich people are spending their money.
Yes, I never get it. I don't get it at all. Art. I don't mean. Let me backtrack on that. I understand art. I can appreciate it. If I look at something and somebody says, "Well, they paid $44 million for it," 44 million. What's the matter with you? Are you just mental? So I don't get that.
Yeah,
I don't get that at all. But it is what something's worth. As again, my pop used to say to me, something's worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. That's it. That's its market price. If somebody's willing to pay for it, that's what it's worth. If they won't, they won't. The end.
And they all have to talk these things up because everybody's in it not everybody's in it for the money. I mean, some people are great appreciators of art for art's sake, but then the world around them, the business world around them, are there for the money that they can make out of them, whether it's an investment or a this or a that, or anyway.
I've thought about this a lot. If somebody, let's take something which at least I can make a reference, like a Van Gogh, and you look at it, and I look at it, and I've been to Musée d'Orsay, and I've stood right up to it, and you go, oh wow, that's great. Would I pay $44 million? Well, 44 million reasons I can't. But if it's in your home, let's say, and you're loving it every day, and it fills you with joy and inspiration, I understand that. But if it's just like a Mark Rothko or something, you go, what the? It's a frame with like 2 colors. What's this shit? That's when I look at it. But for me, I can understand why somebody pays 3, 4, 5 million for a 1968 Mustang coat. I get it. I know it's stupid, and other people say, well, you could go buy a Mini for a couple hundred quid. What's the matter with you? I go, yeah, but think of the patina, think of the heritage, think who's driven it. That's the difference. I get it. Julie Voice, my husband could look at a piece of art and see all sorts of different things. Me, I just see splodges. I'm with you. I don't get it. Jackson, I mean, and I'm not being a Philistine. I've looked at, the Jackson Pollock and this, that, and the other, and I go, okay. Except, and I don't know why, if you said to me, what piece of artwork would you like? Without exception, would you like a Rubens, a Vermeer? No, Kandinsky.
Oh, I love Kandinsky.
And I don't understand why I love it, but I look at it and it fills me with and it always has, with a huge emotion. Why?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Colors are always beautiful.
I don't know. I don't understand what it does to me, but that would be my piece of art.
Very good.
Do you ever watch Fake or Fortune?
I do. I love it. Yeah, it's the sort of thing I put on at lunchtime when I'm shopping.
Isn't that guy? I always expect, when I come around for dinner, I expect that guy to be sitting at your dining room table. He's the sort of guy, because he's so terribly smooth. I mean, he is like Mr. Smooth of Smoothland. I mean, I've never seen anyone on TV so smooth.
No, I've had dinner with him a couple of times.
Oh, you have? I knew it. I knew you must know him.
He's a jolly nice man.
Is he a nice guy? I'm so pleased. But he's so suave and sophisticated. And I watch the show and I go, I'd quite like to be this guy. This guy's really cool. He looks cool. He sounds cool. I could be this guy. This would be great. Right
now, but could you be Billy Joel? Because that's going to.
Could I be Billy Joel? One of my absolute heroes. I love him. Could I be him? No, I've adored him for decades.
Okay, so have you seen the new documentary, 2-part documentary on Sky?
I haven't got Sky.
Well, no, but you've got Now, which is Sky.
Well, I've only just got. I used to have Now, and I thought, this is ridiculous. This is we're never seeing it, So we're never watching it, Cliffy and I. So I thought, well, we got rid of Now, and now it's. I'm going to get it back, I think, because there's some great stuff. I love Billy Joel. So what's going on with him?
Well, because it's an absolutely extraordinary 2-parter, 2.5 hours each part. So,
Christ, really?
Yeah, this is like a life's work of Billy Joel. And it's Billy Joel talking about his life from beginning to end, which is an extraordinary life. I had no idea he had so much about him, and he was so interesting, and his background was so interesting, and his family were interesting. And honestly, I just love him for the music. And I
just love him. I think he's wonderful. Yeah.
And, we think of him and he never wanted to be compared to Elton John. But at the time when they were both coming up in the early 70s, he was compared to Elton John, and he hated that. Well, they have done concerts together, but I don't know whether they're good buddies. But he didn't want to be Billy Joel. But this documentary features so many incredible people, like Bruce Springsteen is interviewed. Paul McCartney is interviewed. His 3 ex-wives are interviewed. fantastic. I don't think my ex-husband would want to say anything nice about me at all.
Well, not for 5 hours.
Not for 5 hours.
Probably
but the
not.
3 ex-wives all talk about him incredibly fondly. And he basically sort of pretty much narrates all this incredible archive, a lot of it never seen before archive, because he's opened up his own archives for this thing. And he just sits at the piano and talks about his life. And he is a really, really interesting bloke. And what I haven't realised,
great raconteur, presumably.
Well, great raconteur, because if you think of the lyrics in his songs, they all relate to things that have happened in his life.
Yeah.
And I simply didn't know. I didn't know that he tried to commit suicide. I didn't know that he'd run away with his best friend's wife. I mean, I didn't know any of these things.
How did that work out?
Well, the best friend is interviewed, and they're still best friends. I mean,
did him a favor then. It's like that joke, Billy. Me, I have to, but you?
Yeah. No, they were in the band together, and he ran away with the best friend's wife, and their child came with them. And then, listen, I'm not going to tell you the whole story because it's a great story, but it's a really nicely made documentary. Unbelievably expensive. The amount of archive that they've used will have been off.
The PRS would be a fortune, wouldn't it? The rights. My God.
Unbelievable.
Did you know?
Do you know how much money he made out of Piano Man?
I'm going to go with a lot.
Well, think again, my friend. $8,000.
Oh, shut up!
Can you?
How? What deal did he sign?
It's the story of the agents that he's diddled, and the agents are in it too. I mean, it's a great story.
$8,000 for one of the biggest songs of all time. If you're
basically at one stage he sort of had to sell everything, and he wasn't getting paid anything, and they were still having to sleep in their car when he already brought out Piano Man. I mean, and you're going, I cannot believe this. So it's really worth it, and he comes across as a very nice, courteous, educated man. Very difficult relationship with his father, who was I think from Czechoslovakia. Was it his mum? Anyway, I can't remember. But he is obviously he grew up as a Jew in New Jersey, New York, New Jersey. And obviously he talks a little bit about that, not masses, but a little bit about that, because it comes into play a little bit. But
it's interesting, though, it doesn't inform in the wider meaning of that word. It doesn't inform his music at all.
No, I mean,
because if you didn't know that he was Jewish, you'd say he's probably Italian, because there's a much more Italian feel, especially on the early albums, to that stuff. And the imagery is very Sylvester Stallone. Do you remember the image of the album? He's got the boxing gloves and all of that. He was a handsome looking guy. And much more Italian than any sort of
absolutely
Eastern European background.
Really, but it's an interesting story, and if you love his music, you will really enjoy the documentary, because I think this is, the work that he wanted to put out there, and will possibly be the last documentary he does.
So that's his definitive. Yeah, well, that's his. I don't know how old he is now. That's his. Is he? And he's still doing Madison Square Garden like it's his local club. It's amazing.
I think, hasn't he just announced he will no longer perform again, or is that my imagination?
I don't. Oh, really? Was that him?
Didn't he say that he'd got something wrong with him, and he was no longer?
Well, it's happening, because I'm getting of an age when my heroes are suddenly like in a wheelchair. There was a picture this week. They did a concert, Chanters. They did a concert. There was Lady Gaga, somebody else huge, and there was Neil Diamond. The great Neil Diamond. No one can sell a song like Neil Diamond did. No one. And he's in a wheelchair looking terrible. And you go, oh Christ, that's Neil Diamond. I love Neil Diamond. And Gaga, and I can't remember who she was singing with, somebody monstrously big. And they were paying tribute to Neil Diamond.
Tony Bennett.
No, it wasn't Tony Bennett. Tony Bennett is well dead. This was like last week.
Oh, okay.
Unless it's Tony Lazarus Bennett.
No, not Tony Lazarus Bennett.
Tony Lazarus Bennett. He's back. Who knew? Thought he was dead. 3 days later, he's singing again.
Well, I saw him singing with Gaga, but that was
they did a whole album together.
Yeah. No,
and
I saw them at
she
Hollywood
was so. I'm a huge Gaga fan because she knew he had incipient dementia at that point, and she was so gracious and supportive. And when people are rude about her, there's so much depth to her. So much depth. She's not like the meat dress and all that nonsense. There is so much to her. She's an amazing artist. Amazing artist. I think she's fantastic. I really do. So there. Now, quick question, because this is. I know this is a hot show. Come on, Russie, stop it. This is a. Where are we go? Come on, work. Right, from Sleet. Have you seen Hostage? Netflix British military coup story. Have you seen it? Any good?
Just about to tell you about it.
Oh, well, we're ready. Okay.
It's literally on the screen as I'm just rolling it up in front of me.
Wow. Okay.
I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
I mean, it's completely implausible.
Yes, I gather.
But I like escapism. I don't try and pretend to be looking for something that is, as in depth as a Basquiat painting that I can't.
You're obsessed with this new word.
No, you know who Basquiat is.
I've never heard of Basquiat. I don't know what you're saying. I'm nodding along, trying to keep up with you. No, I don't know who Baskin Robbins is.
Right. Anyway,
they made ice cream. Now they're doing paintings, as far as I can work out.
Hostage, Channel 4, 6 parts, 6 1 hours. Came out last week or the week before, I think. Saran Jones as the Prime Minister.
Okay. Got to be better than one we got. Okay. Yeah. I'll go with
Julie Delpy as the French Prime Minister. So the world has been, or president, the world has been taken over by women. It is a modern day story. And it is a political thriller. Yeah. It's a, what else is it? It's a mystery.
Oh, like those.
It's quite nicely blended together in terms of the sort of themes that it plays in without sort of knocking you over the back of the head with a sledgehammer.
Yeah, to make
so
the
you
point,
sort of get the idea that there are outside forces that don't like the way that the world is going.
You're kidding me. It's perfect. Who would think?
It's quite zeitgeisty. You get the idea that what happens in France doesn't necessarily stay in France, but they don't talk about it as much as we do. Yeah. So there's quite a lot of sort of sexual shenanigans going on.
Hello.
Raise the eyebrow.
Is she married to a woman?
No.
Okay, just checking.
There are lots of not double agents so much as, well, people who aren't quite what they seem. But Saran Jones actually plays a blinder as the British Prime Minister. She's bloody good. Yeah. The French Prime Minister is also, she's sort of quite frosty. She's
well, they're French. What do you think?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah.
But she has problems of her own, and these two women sort of realise that they are.
Does she beat up her husband as he's coming down the plane steps?
No.
Smack him in the face?
No, I can't tell you much about it because it would be giving too much away. But the basic premise right at the beginning of the first episode is that that Saran Jones is married to a doctor who works for Médecins Sans Frontières.
Oh, big mistake. There you go. I can see what's going to happen straight away. I can see immediately what's going to happen. Okay. He's in the middle of somewhere ghastly in some godforsaken hellhole, trying to help out, and he must be held hostage. But there we are.
I didn't say.
I've written the show. That's got to be it, right? How close am I? Am I close?
About 100 on 100.
I've not seen even a trailer for this thing. Boom.
Listen, it's good escapist nonsense.
Oh, that's good. I love all that. Yeah.
I enjoyed it, and I rattled all the way through it. And I really.
How many parts is it in?
6 1 hours.
Oh God.
It's a weekend's worth, basically.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, though, isn't it?
And you don't have to do the ironing whilst you're doing something. Whilst you're doing that.
Sorry, you lost me there. Use the technical term. I don't know what the hell you just said. Do the something. I don't know what the word means. I don't know.
Anyway,
is he an artist?
Hostage on Channel 4, I recommend.
Is it Netflix or somebody said Netflix? It's Channel 4, is it? I have no idea where it is.
Channel 4.
Channel 4, okay. And the only other thing that I might try and watch is, although I've...
Oh, hang on. I think it's on Netflix as well.
Oh, it's on both. Okay,
I think it's on. Bizarrely, don't quite know why that's happened.
Well, you'll find. You'll find. Look it up. You just Google it, and you'll find where it's on.
Yeah.
Sort of so, what about this? Have you managed to see? I know we're out of time. I don't care. What have we managed to see? What's that Richard Osman thing? Thursday Murder Club. What a cast! Holy God!
Amazing cast. I'm going to go and see it at the cinema because I want to see it.
Are you?
Yes, I want to see
it.
You
see it at home. When you're doing whatever the word was, ironing.
Yes.
I want to cinema.
Really? No, I'm going to go and see it on the big screen, I think. All I know is that my sister said yesterday it was terrible. But
it's Richard Osman. I've never got it. I'm going to put my hand on my heart. I know everyone will scream at me. And I've tried with his stuff.
Okay.
I don't get it.
I'm about 100 pages into the book, and I quite like the way
do you know what his advance is now?
No. Tell me. How much?
What am I doing?
Oh, well, I can't. 300,000.
Oh, keep going.
No, when you've only got 3 fingers up.
I know I've got 3 fingers up. Keep going.
400,000. No, you can't be serious. Advance. Holy McMoly.
Yeah, why do you think he doesn't bother with TV anymore?
Wow.
Yeah, okay. He's hit
the big
bless
time.
him. And bless him, I would do the same. He has hit a groove. Good for him.
Well, I really hope that the film is fun. I mean, it's supposed to be fun, with a cast like that, you can't take it seriously. Yeah. So because it's, sort of bonkers. So
of course it's silly. It's like the Marlowe Murder Club. Which was Robert Thorogood, as you know, who I'm a huge fan of.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, the people have got no right to interfere in police business, and they solve the crimes. Boom.
No, this time next week, I will come back with some thoughts on the Thursday Murder Club, and in fact, I might watch it on Netflix whilst I'm doing my ironing this afternoon.
So now we're not. Going to the cinema.
No, well, I am. I really want to go and see it at the cinema.
Chantal Rickards OBE. I must let you get on with your day, not to mention the fact that I've got to do a podcast in 4 minutes. But
better be off with you.
Thank you so much. As always. Chantal Rickards, screen queen extraordinaire. And she does ironing. I don't know why. What is this going to work? There we are. I'm back again. Hurrah. I don't know. It looks weird. Anyway, thanks for another week. I've got bizarrely, over the next 10 days, 7 funerals and a wedding to officiate at. So I'm not going to be on air as much as I normally am. You will be in safe hands with Neil Longy Long, possibly Phil Day, but he's on his travels again. We'll do our best to stay on air, as we always do. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your fabulous comments. Look after yourselves. Have a wonderful weekend. And as I always say in these crazy, starsy times, no hurty words. Take care. Bye.